Hello, viewers. This is Michael from Scooby Views, bringing you my segment called the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to preach so hard during this audio podcast recording round, not to cause any audio feedback this round. And also, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain show adult language. But again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain show adult language if you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, that means you're going to watch this audio podcast recording. Now, anyway, with this everything else out the way, let's get into the latest episode of Gozyuger. So basically, when we last, the episode starts off from we last thoughts in the previous episode. Kuma Bear and Mashiro finally meet, bumped in, the boss of the Catechism, Klaus, is finally appeared. So basically, his name is Lex. He's the true boss. He's the true boss of the Catechism. So basically, he had everything else on his body looked scary except for his face. He had this dull, childlike face and whatnot. And basically, Kuma Bear saying this guy is the true head of the Catechism, and well, yes, don't be fooled by his dull face and whatnot. He's the true boss on. He's the true boss of the Catechism and whatnot. So anyway, and basically, he was just oh, it's good to see you again, it's been a while and such, and basically, start to toy. Machino tried to attack him and tried to destroy him, but every time. When he landed his ice punch, Lex just regenerated himself. So I can't die. You can't kill me and whatnot. So let's stop turning around and basically transport him to the beach. And so basically he transported him and Kuma Bear to the beach and basically bought a ship that was fall out in the ocean and whatnot right in front of them. It's you and the Texas has been screwing up. It has been screwing up the balance of this universe with what this whole Sentai ring business and whatnot. So basically, my job is to keep that, as a god like me, it's my job to make sure there's a balance. You guys have been screwing up balance, so therefore, only to fix this balance at this rate is destroy the human race, because of you and the Rangers and the Tegasaur's actions. That's the only way we could fix the balance in this universe, by destroying the whole human race. And basically, Mashino was not down with that, but he's just way too powerful. But Lex is too powerful for him was just way too powerful, and basically, eventually he did teleport Mashino and Kuma Bear to the cafe, but where the others were waiting for some to show up, to see the battle between Hal and Shino, but and basically so basically Shino and Lex and Kuma Bear teleported to the cafe where the other Rangers are, set to some and basically apparently Lex is spawned with Thorn with, he doesn't have any problem with Machida becoming the god or whatnot, he's not gonna let him, stop him, destroy the human race to bring balance to the universe and whatnot. So basically, after hearing that, it basically, Lex, Machida, Lex introduced himself to the others and whatnot, and basically, Machida explained the situation going on, and basically, you guys took down my generals. So each of the three generals that of the Cataclysm represent a different, it represented a different, represented three out of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So basically, being plague, war, and famine. So basically, Bio was famine. The other dude was war. And the first dude was a plague. So basically, he was Rex was just causing that. Was causing mad chaos, causing mad chaos and whatnot. Basically, causing mad chaos with his chaos powers and whatnot. And thankfully, man should have got pissed off about this, and basically, I will not let you destroy the human race, and basically. So basically, he teleported them outside and basically caused a major damage, a major damage with the unnatural weather patterns and whatnot, causing tornadoes and stuff around the city and whatnot, and causing mad damage, releasing a plague and stuff with his catechism powers. So basically, since Riku and Kitchen couldn't transform anymore without their Sentai rings, they decided to make sure that people that Sabrina get to safety while Machida and Ryoga and Hal tried to fight off Rex, but it was not happening. Their attack didn't even phase them. And basically, out of nowhere, we see Fire Candle appear, Rex is like, who are you? Oh yeah, you the guy who took a bite out of my general Bao and basically took his powers. And yes, and basically, So basically, he let Rex let him took some of his power. Basically Rex let Firecandle took some of his powers, and therefore, it stabilized his body, with his catalysm powers that he took. And he took the power. He took the power from some of Rex's power. Even though it didn't even phase him, and basically and basically gained this crazy monster form, and basically he started to fight against Hal and whatnot. And basically and that's where Ryoga and Machida decided to summon the Tegasaur and the Teganebel to try to take down Lex, and basically Tegasaur showed up, and basically he wanted to atone for what for all the bad things she done and whatnot, fought by her son's side and her baby daddy's side, and basically the real Tegazord, so basically the Tegazord combined with the real Tegazord, but things like even with the buying powers of the Tegazord family, they couldn't destroy Rex either. So basically, Lex just used his powers to defeat the Tegazord family and force them to shrink, shrink down to human size, and basically there was just so basically June, Goodbird, and Tegasaur was just lying on the ground, defeated, KO one shot by Lex. So basically, things couldn't get worse, and basically he used his powers to disintegrate Yoga, and basically the only thing that was left of Yoga was his Sentai with all his Sentai rings and his and his Gozyuger Tyranno ring, and he said that I did the same thing to Satsumi as well, and basically how it's how Machida was like, oh damn, that's messed up. That is how Machida and Riku and Kinja was like, oh no, he just disintegrated him. So basically, he was about to disintegrate Hal, and basically, Kinjin and Yoga, got in the way, and therefore they saved Hal, but Riku and Kingdom got disintegrated by the powers of Lex and whatnot. So basically, things like there is no way to defeat Lex, the final boss of the Cataclysm. And basically he realized that Goodbird has the power to rewrite the universe. So basically, that's what Machida got the idea, is to use his god powers and use Goodbird to rewrite the universe. That will allow him to, so basically, Machida used his Sentai rings, along with Goodburn's rewriting the universe powers to help him to defeat Lex. But doing so will come at a cost. So basically, and that's when Fight gonna start beating up on Hal after he forced Hal to transform. He's like, I'll let well, it looks like it's time to need to go. Anyway, and just left, with his new powers, and therefore he's now stable. His cataclysm powers, his new cataclysm power up, stabilize his body. And he's like, I'll let this battle come to a conclusion, then I'll show up and see who's left and whatnot. So basically, he was able to. So basically, Machida was able to use the power of Goodburn's power to rewrite the universe to make to help him defeat Lex, but it comes at a cost. And basically, his body started to kind of force him to age a little bit in his hair area and whatnot. Anyway, so basically gave him the power to defeat Lex, but at a cost. So basically, Goodburn was like, don't leave me, and basically don't worry, you still have your parents to help you guide you, and help you guide you in this world, and also I have faith that you will be alright without me guiding you. So anyway, and also Machida tell Hal that once you find out possibly that whatever wish you make, you finally find possibly that whatever possibly you will find you will make that wish you've been trying to figure out to yourself and whatnot. And basically Machida morphed up and basically had the power and basically started to attack Lex, basically against him using his god powers to activate Good Bird to rewrite the universe, and therefore gave him the power to destroy Lex, but it came at a cost. So basically, he punched Lex so far into the Earth's core, him and Lex exploded, and therefore, so basically he sacrificed himself to destroy Lex, the head of the Catechism, and therefore everything was alright. All the damage that Lex, so basically all the damage that Lex caused was, all the damage that Lex caused, all the people that he hurt, with his Catechism powers was all gone and whatnot, thanks to Machino. So basically, we see how, so the explosion kind of forced how to go to this clearing somewhere in there, to this outside the city, in this weird clearing somewhere, and basically all the Sentai rings that belongs to the other range, that belongs to Ryoga, Sansumi, and Machino appeared forward around him and whatnot, and therefore we see a runic Tegasaur walking up to Hal, and basically it's clear all the Centaurlings it's clear the battle of the Centaurlings is over, and basically, and the house said don't say it, and basically and the Tegasaur said that you're the #1 winner. So basically the episode ends up with Hal screaming in agony after losing all his friends, because of Lex. And basically, how just looking at this lead to what just happened and whatnot, and basically, this is how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, the final episode is coming out. It's coming out this weekend. It's coming out next, on Super Bowl Sunday. And so basically, the final episode. So basically, next week will be the final episode of Gozyuger, and this will once the final episode of Gozyuger is over, and that's when Sentai goes on a hiatus for a while, and that's when the new Gavin series starts up. So anyway, so basically I will be doing reviews on the new Gavin series as well. Anyway, what do you guys think about this latest episode of Gozyuger? Good, bad, or just okay? Please let me know what the comments of this podcast. Anyway, signing off. Let's do reviews. 1.